And Brad may get it going, no questions about it. How about that for a Sunday afternoon tilt?
I guess so. Well, if you're gonna
Pause. Did you see that? That person in the stands. Let's go back and take a look. That little boy in the Sabres jersey. Now, I know it's a little blurry, but let's find a photo from a different moment of that game. Several years ago, there was an article going around of this picture of former second overall player Sylvain Turgeon. A photographer captured the moment of a 5-year-old boy looking excited and watching a typical NHL game. Little did we know, this boy would end up changing the course of NHL history as one of the best American hockey players of all time. And his name, you ask?
Patrick Kane.
That boy would turn out to be a future National Hockey League player, being drafted first overall in the NHL, would win the Calder as Rookie of the Year, lead the league in points, and be crowned MVP for both the regular season and the playoffs. Not only that, but he would be one of the faces of the franchise, winning 3 Stanley Cups. So why am I talking about him? Well, as you may have noticed, the Chicago Blackhawks the past several seasons have not been able to make the playoffs, nor pass round 1 since 2015. They've attempted to make moves to keep the core together by acquiring high-quality players, but to no avail. With many of the original players from the 2010, 13, and 15 Cup gone, only Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane remain from that original core. The issue is that Toews is no longer the elite player he was, and has voiced his frustration, implying that he may want to be traded to a contending team. You can see where this is going. The Blackhawks have begun their official rebuild for a better future. As you can see, they're not done just yet. They still have players that could be of value. Now, the elephant in the room is what is going to happen to the Blackhawks' 2 future Hall of Famers, especially Patrick Kane, as he is the one who's most likely going to give the most value. Any team that requires him is not only going to get a point-per-game player, but someone who knows how to win. His impressive resume not only includes being an MVP and having Stanley Cups, but what still makes him a dominant player is that during this dark time the Blackhawks are going through, is that he has always been the best player on the team, even elevating his own point totals. The past 4 seasons alone, he scored 352 points in 285 games. Before that, he was a mere point-per-game player with 828 points in 822 games, and that's when he was in his 20s. Now about to turn 34 years old, usually players at this age would begin their decline. But he's been defying the age factor and looks better than ever. Of course, it's obvious that the downgrade of the Chicago's offense will bring his point totals down, and age will eventually catch up to him. Maybe it's a rough start, but he's still scoring at nearly a point per game pace. Now imagine if he were to be traded, being paired with players on a contending team. There's no doubt he can still produce and is a great setup man. So far this past season, he hasn't waived his no movement clause, nor hasn't publicly stated that he wants to move like Toews. And according to Mark Lazarus of The Athletic, sorry if I get that wrong, he reports that Kane really wants to stay in Chicago. He wants to break every record in the Blackhawks book. He also went on to say that he wants to be the greatest Blackhawks of all time. For now, it is a wait-and-see approach. The Blackhawks will definitely test the market to see if they can get value for Kane. And what if the Blackhawks actually do well this season? Judging from how well they're doing as of the end of October, they began the season with a decent start. So would it be worth it? Who knows, maybe he plans on staying with the Blackhawks until the very end like he said he will. But what do I know, right?